Well, I think we start with Genesis 1 in the creation. The world was created by God, we believe, and we, humankind, were given responsibility for its care.
There's a core center to the faith community of caring for creation. We understand that through water, we're all connected to each other. Water is sacred, it's symbolic in most of our religious traditions. And as a result of that, the faith community is very drawn to trying to protect this resource.
Depending on your study, 65 to 85% of the stormwater runoff comes from private property. So local governments, state governments could do everything they wanted if they had the money, which they don't, and still not save the bay. So until we start chipping away at the private property, like churches and businesses and schools that have big parking lots and big roofs, we don't have a chance.
In our county, it's pretty much an all-payer system. If you own property and there's any sort of hard surfaces on it, then you do get assessed a fee. We've got the revenue going into what's called a dedicated fund, and once it's in there, it's going to go to the projects that we've identified around the county to clean up our polluted runoff going into our creeks.
Because nonprofits have a social mission, we wanted to work with them on a solution that allowed them some financial relief, but also got the improvements to the watershed.
If you just think about the dollar obligations, it's really easy to conclude yet another tax. No one wants another tax, but it's not just to bring in revenue for the government, but to actually see these things built.
We talked about the partnership as opposed to a mandate. And so we talked about alternative compliance. We are talking about educate or re-educate, if you will, our congregants, as well as the community in which our churches are located in. I shared with the church on Sunday, this past Sunday, is that when we throw trash out of the window, we have sinned. When we even pour oil down into the sewer and polluting the water, that's sin because we are destroying God's creation. They never looked at it quite that way, and so what I see here is a new attitude of change that I know can take place and will take place.
In a heavy rainstorm of an inch or more, you'll probably have at least 30, 40 toxic chemicals flowing here, lead, cadmium, PCBs. Plus, you have a lot of pet waste in downtown. People walk their dogs, they have their cats that roam free, and all of that gunk goes into the waters. The storm water is not treated. That's an important thing. People think it goes to a sewage treatment plant. It does not. We don't have combined sanitary sewers here. We were able to get excellent landscape design people in here and work to put a plan together that the parish found acceptable without taking out one parking space. And we got a grant from the Maryland Department of Environment. If we can do it here on this large parking lot, people can do it anywhere.
We're able to retain 97% of the runoff from the non-pervious surfaces of our property here at Heritage Baptist. The bay is one of the largest economic engines in our community. So by protecting that, we are protecting sustainability for the future, we are protecting our children's future.
You have to act on what you believe. So Jewish tradition teaches us that we must be stewards of the earth, that one of the core original values of the Jewish tradition is honoring the beauty of the physical world.
I'm not a rabbi, but there's a saying in Judaism, from ladur vadur, from generation to generation. So I think it kind of speaks to we're trying to care for our natural resources and other things to make them sustainable so that the next generations can enjoy them and benefit from them.
The thing is it takes all of us. It takes every single person making a difference on their property to really make a difference for the Chesapeake Bay.
Doing positive and good environmental projects is a healthy way to define the mission of your congregation and helping people to reconnect with the earth that we have in common and something larger than ourselves.